And so, as always, we will conclude with a little sales tip that oftentimes we get listeners that email in questions to me that they would like me to address on the air. And so, if you've got a sales question to email, my email address is al.simon@sandler.com. And go ahead and email me your sales question, any question you want. And we usually, each show we pick one. And here's the one that I'm going to address today. This comes from a sales manager. Sales manager says, what metrics should I measure for my sales team? And then weekly, monthly, and yearly. Well, that's a great question. And I think it's one that I wish more sales managers would ask. Because you may have heard of the concept of a dashboard, and managers need a dashboard so they can quickly and at the speed of business, as Brian said, they can see what's going on and catch trends quickly, and especially things that might go wrong, catch them quickly. Sales managers need a dashboard too of what's going on in their sales world with their team. And when I talk to sales managers, a lot of times when I say, what are you measuring today? One of the things they say is, a lot of times is well, I measure the number of proposals we have out, and that's just a rotten way to do this. That's just an awful way, awful metric to measure, because you would then incent your sales team to just go ahead and throw out proposals all over the place, and of course they wouldn't be well qualified. They might not be well thought through. And you end up with a mess. And it's just not a good indication of how well sales are going. But I will say what I do recommend to our clients is that weekly they have what we call a cookbook. Each rep, each producer has a cookbook. What we mean by cookbook, it's what is their short-term, maybe daily, maybe weekly activity plan. What things are they going to do? Are they going to make, dials? Are they going to send out, digital prospecting emails? Are they going to do networking? Are they going to go trade shows? Trade shows are coming back, right, at some point. They are, we know all the different things they could do, social media stuff, all the things they could, giving talks, writing letters and blogs, or articles and blogs. There's all kinds of things you could do to get business, and other things you could do to grow existing business. So what is each rep going to do? In what quantities, in what time frames, and we call that a cookbook, and that should be measured by the sales manager to know the activity, because you can't measure, you can't manage what you don't control. So we want to control something that we can manage, and we can manage what each of us individually does every single day, and then we call that a cookbook. Monthly, I would suggest a great metric would be what we call MCs, or sometimes called MIs, which would be meaningful conversations or meaningful interactions. So you can have your own definition of that, but basically it talks about, like in my case for our team, we measure meaningful conversations. The definition being first-time conversations, or first time in a while, like a couple years, conversations with decision makers in our market who have pain that we can fix. That's our definition of a meaningful conversation. First-time conversations, parenthetically, or first time in a while, with decision makers, not with just influencers or whoever. I'm talking about decision makers who have pain that we can fix. And you measure how many of those you have. It's an indication. It's a lagging indicator, but it's an indication that you're doing the right activities in the right ways with the right people. So in other words, an indication that your cookbook is right and that your techniques are right. And then annually, I would suggest, that you measure sales results, or at least report on sales results year over year, year over year, to make sure. But also to break that up into new business dollars versus growing existing account dollars. It's important to see where your reps are spending their time, and where one way or the other might need to be shorn up. So that's really what I would say. Cookbook on a weekly basis. MIs or MCs on a monthly basis, and then annually, year-over-year sales dollars broken up by new business versus growing existing business. And let's not tell our reps to throw proposals all over the place. Let's just not do that, please. And that's my soapbox and sales tip from Al Simon with Sandler Training. We do sales training and coaching. and sales management training and coaching, and customer service training and coaching, as usual. And this has been a great episode of Simon Says Let's Talk Business on Business Radio X.